Hi everyone, just wanted to make another video. This time it's going to be about that I care too much or too little. So I tend to, like I said in the last video, overthink things, and but there's also times when I just don't prioritize the right things. Like I'm kind of blasé about certain things that are actually kind of important. For example, I got this kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but I still have a bit of a scab on my face. I could have probably avoided that just by keeping up with my hygiene a bit better, but because I haven't been really caring enough about that, then these things kind of slide, and that can cause me to develop these things. But my mind would be so focused on something that's relatively less important in a lot of cases. My thoughts would be in like overthinking and worrying about little details of things, but then I'm not concentrating on what's important. Like my hygiene, for example. It's like I've got these you see my fingernails, I haven't even cut them for a while. I tend to not cut them very often. Maybe I should cut them more, but I just don't really I guess it's just my mind, it just feels like, well, what's the point? But yet I care so much about what other people think, for example. It's like I've come down this path because it's kind of quiet here on this path. So I've not got people around me to kind of like judge me, like if I'm saying, when I'm, saying stuff on here, it's like I'm a bit conscious of like what people might think when they're listening in, but then it's like they're probably not even listening. They probably are completely in their own world anyway, but it's like in the back of my mind, it's like I can't help but think, what are they thinking about me? So I always kind of have these thoughts in my head, like, what are people thinking about me, even though that really doesn't matter. It's like, so what if someone judges it or whatever? It's like you've got to just get that out of your head. But it's like, I don't know, I guess it's just in my life I've just kind of had times where I would do kind of stupid stuff, like some really cringe stuff, and then like people would kind of joke and laugh about me, and it would get in my head. So I think some of it could come down to that, possibly. Maybe it's my autism, but I mean, I guess I'm just, with the autism, maybe I'm just more predisposed to that kind of just caring about the wrong kind of things, just caring too much about the outcome of something, things that are out of my control, hoping that such a thing happens instead of being present. So maybe I need to meditate more, but I'm just like, I need to just try and prioritize myself and just let everything kind of just naturally fall into place. But it's hard to feel like, what if such and such doesn't work out? And it's like, okay, so what, kind of thing. It's like, it doesn't matter, but it's like, I just, for whatever reason, I care too much about these things, and it's like, yeah, it just, it sucks, but, it's just, because it's like, for example, you might care too much about somebody, but then they might not care about you that much. And sometimes they might do, but it's like, you gotta just be kind of careful, because people can kind of use you, like they can see it as a vulnerability. But on the other hand, I can be feel like I can actually be selfish in other ways where I don't care enough, and I probably, hurt a lot of people without intending on them. It could just be my priorities or whatever at the time, and I was just kind of caring about the wrong things and not about, how somebody might feel if I say a certain thing. I'd care too much about feeling the need to say something, and now you could say, well, offence is taken, not given kind of thing, but maybe I should just kind of keep my mouth shut sometimes. And it's like I've always kind of got myself in trouble with saying the wrong things to the wrong person, and people take it the wrong way, even if I mean something as a joke and then somebody takes it the wrong way. And then I think the problem is because sometimes I do it, especially if I don't know the person, and it's like they don't know my intentions, and also I don't know like if they have a high tolerance to things like that. So, but looking back, I just think that I was being a bit of an asshole, and but we all make mistakes, and we shouldn't like beat ourselves up over it. We have to have compassion for ourselves, because like I said, we all make mistakes. We're all, no one's perfect, so we have to just humble ourselves, and because that way we can grow and become a better person. But yeah, so yeah, it's just I just need to try and prioritize the right things, and yeah, because otherwise my life's just going to be a mess. So at times I just feel like my life's a complete mess because I'm putting effort into the wrong things. I'm caring about the wrong things too much. I can get very dogmatic about certain things, and that can lead to just like a miserable life and just overthinking the little details instead of just thinking about what it is that I want to do just to have fun and have a good life. Just yeah, it's I don't know, so sometimes we can be our own worst enemy, but it's just what a lot of us don't really have great support networks. I mean, I do have a few people I can talk to, but yeah, sometimes it isn't always enough. But like just yeah, I've been kind of like using ChatGPT to try and answer things if I have thoughts in my head about something, to give me some kind of clarification. Sometimes that can help to give me a sense of like clarity, but yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just that life is uncertain, and I just feel like uncertainty is something I struggle with, but I need to just be kind of more just kind of go with the flow and not worry too much about outcomes of things, because that just creates more suffering. It's like we don't deserve to suffer. Like we've got to love ourselves enough to just kind of be present and do what's right for yourself. Do the self-care, the hygiene, that kind of stuff. I want to try and get better with that, because I feel like there's some room for improvement. I'm better than what I used to be, but I used to really be bad. I don't even want to say how bad I was. It was quite gross, actually. But I kind of just snapped out of it pretty quickly. I just kind of come to a realization that enough's enough. It's like I used to let my hair get really long and greasy, and it was horrible. It was getting all matted. That was one of the things that I did. It was just so like disgusting, and it's like, yeah, I got really, really skinny as well. I just had this kind of like, I don't know, I guess it was kind of like almost like an FU to society at the time, just to kind of be spiteful in a way, just be like, just kind of go completely against society. So I would basically just like hardly eat anything for a while. So I lost a bunch of weight, and then but the thing is though, there was good to come from that, because maybe if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have actually then gotten into fitness. So they say every cloud has a silver lining. So yeah, it's like maybe my body wouldn't look as good as what it is now if I didn't get down to that point. So we have to kind of look back and maybe even, thank that for happening, be grateful for everything that happens, even if it seems bad, but maybe it was a necessary thing to happen for our development. So now sometimes you have to get down to the lowest of lows to then go to the highest of heights. Sometimes, if we're going on a hike, sometimes we have to drop down into the valley first, and then we can climb the mountain. It's just a kind of analogy, but it's just but we have to kind of also realize that sometimes in life there is setbacks and things happen that you don't necessarily want to happen, but you can't just like let it bother you too much, because when we get too attached to things, whether it's people, whether it's just things, that's just gonna create more suffering. It's like, I think it's actually in the Buddhist sort of one of those sort of like religions where it talks about attachment is the source of suffering. I mean, I think it's a kind of a grey area sort of thing. It's like, because attachment itself isn't a bad thing. There's actually different attachment styles. There's actually so when it comes to like being attached to somebody, it's like there's like anxious attachment style, avoidant attachment style, and then there's healthy attachment style. There's actually a book called Attached. I haven't actually read it, but apparently it's really good if you want to find out like what your attachment style is, but it's about trying to, I guess maybe I need to try and kind of work around it, because I've come to realize that I have sort of like an anxious attachment style, and that is probably why I curse so much when it's I get attached to somebody, but it's not even just with people, it's like with just things that I am passionate about, that I get so kind of I get so deep into it that the thought of losing that thing would just be like devastating. And but it's just sometimes you just feel like you just want to be normal. It's like I got this like autism diagnosis. I've had it for a long time, but I don't know if it's all because of that or it's just my upbringing, but it's just but yeah, I just tend to get anxious a lot of the time about these sort of things. It's just I don't want to end up on some freaking medication for it, but I'm like, I just don't know what to do. Someone was saying I should go on medication, but I'm like, I don't like the whole pharma stuff, because to me that's just like, I don't know, a lot of it can be negative. Like it can have, like negative effects on your health, and the thing is, it's not really getting to the root cause of it a lot of the time. It's like, I find a lot of it can be a bit of a cop-out and like a quick fix, but there's certain things that need to be resolved. I also am a bit funny about seeking therapists. It could just be again, it comes down to like my dogma and my stubbornness, and I tend to be quite stubborn about things, and I have certain kind of ideologies about things, and it can be very hard for me to shift it and change my mind about certain things, like where it would take an enormous amount of convincing in a lot of cases to get me to change my mind on something at times. If I'm very kind of attached to that thing, it's like, I don't know, but yeah, I've been really kind of focused on the fitness stuff, and that's something that I think can be a good thing, but it's like you can get extreme with it, but I'm trying to balance it out. But most things I find that I'm either too interested or too not interested. It's like, it's just about kind of getting the fundamentals down, and because all the like the little details, there's not really any point in stressing about that, because it, like I said, just creates unnecessary suffering. So it's just, we shouldn't all be like suffering. Like, something can happen and then we're in that moment, yeah, we might feel bad, but then we shouldn't have like prolonged suffering from it. We should just take a second to kind of process it and just move on and just continue to enjoy living. And yeah, it's just, but yeah, I just I don't know what to do. I need to try and get into meditation, but I tried that before, but I just struggle with it. It's just because maybe it's just I'm overstimulated, or I don't know. It's hard for me to kind of like, you know, not be stimulated in some way, like to just be there with my thoughts. It's just, because the thing is, it's like, if I'm just there with my thoughts, then my thought, it's like I'm not going to really be meditating as such, because it's like, to try and focus on your breathing for so long, I mean, yeah, I could do it for a time, but then I don't know, maybe it's something I would need to just build up and improve at. It's just I would just find it very boring, and just, yeah, it would be hard for me to kind of try and get into a routine of it, and that's something I think would be the most difficult part of it, like to try and break into a new routine. But they say, like, once you're broke into a routine, then it's like becomes second nature then, and you just do it automatically. Like, you start doing your fitness routine, and then you don't even really need to think about it, you just do it. It just becomes part of your day, just part of your discipline, and you don't even think about it. You just, right, let's do this. It's like, and you just, yeah. So, because I tend to find that I would like not do something if I've thought about it too much, because then I'd start to think about like start worrying about things too much. I'd be like, oh, what if this person doesn't like it, or what if blah blah blah. It's like, but at certain times I would do stuff that's kind of reckless, that could hurt people, and it's like, I just need to try and balance out, where it's like I don't know, maybe somebody can relate to this, but just, yeah, prioritizing the right things is what I need to do. Prioritizing my own health. It's like, yeah, I've been doing that in some ways, but then I would be neglecting basics like hygiene, like I said, that, I mean, I could definitely do better, but I suppose part of it is just like admitting that you have a problem. So at least I'm somewhere there, just like, I need to just maybe I need to have some kind of reminder or something, and you can set things up to kind of like, so that you can get stuff done, like have reminders on whatever device, or just down on paper or whatever, and just something that you'll see all the time, so that way you don't ignore it. But yeah, it's just, but the thing is, I might be the kind of person that would, even if I saw a reminder, that would just kind of, I would just ignore that even. I mean, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, it's just, I just want to be normal, like, but I know that's never going to happen. But then at the same time, I'm like, I kind of like not being normal in a way, because being normal would be boring. But I'm like, but it's just, when it comes with all this baggage of like worrying about things that I shouldn't be worrying about, and then not being concerned about things that are important, then it's like, that's a problem. Because I know, like, my life would be so much better if I could get things in the right order. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambling now, but yeah, I think I'm gonna cut the video in a sec, but yeah, just hope everyone's well. And yeah, this is just me kind of journaling, and I guess it's maybe like some kind of therapy, me being able to kind of speak out to the universe. It kind of like releases these feelings that I have inside. They say it's better out than in, so just maybe you could start your own YouTube channel and start speaking up on these things that you feel, because there's a lot of other people out there that feel the same, and they're, you know, they need somebody to relate to. Well, we need to try and get a community together where we all support each other. Like, I feel like there's something out there, but it's like we could do better. Like, sometimes it feels like certain things aren't getting addressed properly, and certain issues, like, I don't know. But yeah, just hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. So yeah, take care, everyone. Peace out. Bye.